this is the first part of the pre-trip inspection you'll be doing on your test. The examiner will step inside the cab. He will be usually sitting right in the back here in the sleeper section so he can check the gauges. The in-cab inspection is basically made up of three parts, okay? We have our air supply system. That's the most important part because that's make or break, okay? We have to get that perfectly or we cannot move on with the test. The second part of the test is kind of easy. It's the in-cab inspection. It's the same kind of things that are on your own vehicle at home, windows, mirrors, and all those things. The last part that we'll do here today is we'll do our parking brake check and service brake test. So we're going to start first with the air supply system. First, what we want to do is perform a safety start. So what we're going to do is we're going to depress our clutch, make sure that our gear shifter is in neutral. We want to make sure that our parking brakes are set. We turn the key to the on position. The ABS lights come on and off and are working properly. Now we can start the truck. The first test that we're going to perform is the air governor cutoff check. First thing we want to do is we want to pump our service brakes to lose air below 90. So we will start pumping our brakes until these gauges get below 90, right there. Now, the air governor should cut out between 120 and 140 PSI. So right now, it's totally okay for you to rev the engine up to 1,000 RPMs just to save a little bit of time. And what we're waiting for is that air governor to cut out. So we're watching our gauges and we roll the window down and we're just listening. Should be any second. There it goes. So air governor cut out at 135 PSI. Truck passes the test. So that's the first test complete. The next part of the test is an air leakage rate test. First we have to set that up. So first thing we're going to do is place the shifter into gear. We're going to shut the truck off. We're going to turn the key back on, release our clutch. Now we can release our tractor and trailer protection valve. It's very important that before you release the trailer and tractor protection valve that you release your clutch. The only thing stopping us from moving right now is the fact that we're in gear with the clutch released. So now that our protection valves are released, we're going to do an air leakage rate test. This combination vehicle, truck and trailer, cannot lose more than 4 PSI in 1 minute. So how do we do that? We press and hold our service brake, and what we want is 40 pounds of pressure applied. This gauge is the applied pressure gauge. That's the amount of pressure that I'm applying with my foot. Wait for these gauges to stabilize, which they have now. So my current PSI is 100. And again, the truck and trailer cannot lose more than 4 PSI in 60 seconds. Now you can use your phone at this point, as long as it's on airplane mode, or if you have a stopwatch. But basically we're just going to count to 60 seconds. It's very important that you hold pressure. So this will be the longest minute of the test. So we're just going to zoom forward here. 60 seconds are over. Air gauges indicate that I have not lost more than 4 PSI in 60 seconds. Air gauges show 100 PSI. So the combination vehicle passes the test. Then you can release your brake. So that's the second part of the test complete. The first was air governor, second one was air leakage. The third test is we're going to test our air warning devices. We have a low air warning light or buzzer that should come on at or above 55 psi. How do we do that? We have to pump our service brakes to lose air until the low air warning light comes on. So I will start pumping my brakes. Don't go too fast, just a nice rhythm, like 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, and here, the light came on and it stayed on. It's very important that it stays on. If it doesn't stay on, pump the brakes one more time. Low air warning light came on, we're just gonna call that 60 psi. So the low air warning light passes the test. The criteria was that it comes on at or above 55. It came on at 60, so it passes the test. Now we're going to perform an emergency brake test. Both protection valves should pop out between 20 and 45 psi. How do we get them to pump out? We're going to do the same thing. We are going to pump our service brakes until these protection valves pop out. It's very important that you look at the protection valves. Do not look at your gauges. We want to make sure they both pop out at the same time. And they both popped out. We're going to call that 25 psi. So, protection valve popped out at 25 psi, both of them. Protection valves are working properly. Key off, air supply system test complete. 4 tests, all complete. So if you've got to that, happy days, because now it's just an in-cab inspection and brake check. So how do we do that? Now what we need to do is we need to perform another safety start. We're going to depress our clutch, place the shifter into neutral. The parking brakes are obviously set because they just popped out. We're going to turn the key back to the on position. ABS light comes on and off again, working properly. Now it's safe to start the engine. So, at this point I would tell the examiner, while I am waiting for my air gauges to rise, the air governor should cut out between 120 and 140 again. But while we're waiting for that, we can perform the in-cab inspection. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about my emergency equipment. I have a fire extinguisher by my side. It is fully charged and secure. I have 3 reflective triangles in the back of the truck, 3 red reflective triangles. I have 6 spare fuses right here, 6 spare fuses. I'm going to check my mirrors to make sure they are clean and adjusted properly. I'm now going to check my windshield to make sure it's clean, not cracked, not damaged, no flaws, and there are no obstructions except for an inspection sticker, okay? We're now going to check the windshield wipers and washers. We're going to check to make sure the arms and blades are secure, no damage, and they operate smoothly. We're going to check our windshield washers, and they are working properly. Now we go to our heater and defroster. Heater is working properly. You have to demonstrate it. And then we go to defroster, same thing, demonstrate it. The defroster is working properly. Now we go to our city horn, is working properly, and the air horn is right here on this truck. Air horn's working properly. Now we go to our lighting indicators. That's on the dash. So we want to make sure that our right turn signal, our left turn signal, our 4-way flashes, and high beam is working properly. Okay? So that is the in-cab inspection complete, and that's perfect timing because now we're just waiting for that air governor to cut out one more time before we do the brake check. So I'm going to rev the engine just a little. There it goes. Air governor cut out at 135 again. Okay, truck passes that test already. So now we can move on to our brake checks. The first check we're going to do is the tractor parking brake test. How do we do that? We have to release our trailer parking brake. We place the shifter into gear. Now what we do is we try to pull forward, okay? Just easy on the clutch, try to pull forward. You'll feel a little resistance, there it is. So, tractor parking brake is working properly. Truck did not move. So, Engage the trailer brake. Now we're going to test the trailer parking brake. How do we do that? We release the tractor parking brake. Now the truck's not going to move because the tractor parking brake is engaged, so I'm still in gear. I release the clutch. Little resistance, truck does not move. That means that the trailer parking brake is working properly. Now, I'm going to engage that tractor parking brake again. Now, I'm still in gear. I'm going to place my foot on the service brake and I'm going to release both of my parking brakes. This is the service brake test. What we're going to do is we're going to pull forward at about 5 miles an hour, holding the steering wheel gently. So just pull forward and just like that. Nice smooth stop. So the truck stopped. The truck did not pull left or right. That's why you have to hold the steering wheel gently. Service brakes are working properly. We can now set our parking brakes. We can place our shifter back into neutral, release the clutch, and we can turn the truck off. In-cab inspection complete. At this point, you would ask the examiner to please step outside of the vehicle and you will perform an external light check. So what we need to do now is turn the key back on. The examiner will exit the vehicle and you basically run through all your lights. So if he's standing at the front of the truck, we will test our clearance lights first, our headlights, our high beams, our right turn signal, left turn signal, and four-way flashes. And the examiner is going to give you the thumbs up for each of those lights. Then we ask him to check the side marker lights. Those are your turn signal lights that are on the side of the truck. Left side marker light, right side marker light. Then we ask the examiner to step to the rear of the trailer. And this you have to speak up loud because he's going to be back there. But basically we're going to run through the same lights. Tail lights, turn signals, four-way flashes, but don't forget your brakes. We have to check the brake lights as well. If that goes smooth, then we will turn the key off. The examiner will meet you at the front of the vehicle, and that is where you will start performing the out-cab inspection. That's the next part of your pre-trip, okay?